Hello, welcome to this video from diagonalmove.com. Today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Battle Hymn Volume 1, Gettysburg and Pea Ridge, which is a game designed by Eric Lee Smith and published by Compass Games. I'm quite excited to get this one going because it's not only my first game from Compass Games, it's actually my first American Civil War game that I'll be playing. So I really can't wait, and with that in mind, this what was supposed to be an unboxing video is now just a quick look at the components because I couldn't wait and opened it the other day. So let's quick look at the back of the box and see what's going on. So as the name suggests, this is about the battles of Gettysburg and Pea Ridge. There are two separate maps, one for each battle, and each battle has a number of scenarios ranging from a couple of hours all the way through to basically an entire evening. It is part of the Battle Hymn series, and I believe this entry in that series is a couple of years old now, so there may be others. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there may be another one planned. The game itself is a chip pull game, which I'm quite excited to play again. I'm very excitable at the moment because not only do I absolutely love the chip pull based on the few Hex Encounter games I've played already, but Eric Lee Smith is, I think, one of the early proponents of that system, maybe even the originator of that system way back in the 1980s. So it comes with a good pedigree, this game. Complexity wise, it's around about a 5 out of 10, 4.5, 5 out of 10. The playing time does go up to 5 hours. The maps are quite large at 39 inches by 25, it's certainly too large for my coffee table, well, this table here anyway, and the solitaire rating is high, which is great because that's mostly how I'm going to be playing. The counters then are, there are 3 counter sheets. Mine did arrive slightly bowed, but I don't think it'll affect too much when I eventually cut out all the counters. So the symbols on them are variations, as far as I can tell, of the NATO symbols. There are a few dummy counters, although the system, Gwent Rulebook, does provide with a way to play this solo with what they call an at-random placement of certain counters and so on. We do have obviously the chits there that you pop into the cup, and there are a fair number of move turns where you pull the movement chit out of the draw cup, and there's only one combat turn. So essentially in each turn of the game you only have combat twice. You have cavalry, both mounted and dismounted. There are obviously hit counters, and I believe they are demoralization counters, which affects whether your unit becomes shattered or not. So this looks like, as far as I can tell, this looks like the Confederate Army, and the northern states are here in the darker blue, and they're very similar. These counters are for use in both games, although if I look at them carefully, it does actually have just there, it'll say Gettysburg. The initials there stand for Gettysburg, as well as another number there, which helps with setup, which is very useful for a novice like me. Often spend as much time setting these games up as I do actually playing them. Very similar counters for both sides. And the final counter sheet is strength point counters. Yeah, the green ones are strength points counters. You have demoralization counters, and then the approach fire counters down at the bottom there. Okay, there are 2 books, rule books. One being a series. We do have the standard rules, which run to, where are we? They run to 20 pages, which still seems like quite a lot for a newbie like me, but they are quite clearly spaced out with good descriptions of the counters and the unit types and so on, and overall it's pretty easy to read as far as I can make out at the moment, and with a few good examples. One thing that stood out to me actually straight away flicking through the rules is that there's no stacking, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure how that's going to play out, but certainly compared to the handful of other games I've played in the hex encounter genre, that's quite unusual. There is combat, again with plenty of examples, zones of control effects, retreat, and so on. And artillery. That sounds interesting. And then we have morale. Now, again, this is a series, so not only do we have the standard rules, we also have the special rules, which is actually somewhat thicker than the standard rules, and nearly made me feel faint when I saw the size of it compared to the original. But this is actually a scenario book more than a rule book, so that's quite nice. And there's a few different scenarios and setup tables and so on. Again, there are plenty of examples of certain situations that you may come across throughout the game. One of the things that I do love about my experience with hex encounter games so far is the history that is written in the back of the scenario books quite often, and in this particular game we do have the designer notes for the origin of the system and the intention behind the design, as well as an essay, an extract of a piece that was actually written by a chap called Gideon Smith, who was actually present at one of the battles, I believe. I haven't really read that yet. One thing that this does have as well, in addition to those two rulebooks, is an errata sheet, which was double-sided. And again, my heart did sink slightly at the number of entries on this sheet. However, the errata are only the top section there, and all the rest are clarifications. So I'm hopeful that that will actually be quite useful when learning the game for the first time. Okay, so what else do we get in this game? We have some player aids. There's a combat play aid for both game scenarios within the game, both battles, as well as a miscellaneous reverse side. And then each of the two games, I suppose, within this box do have their own play aid detailing specifics, excuse me, such as the terrain and what have you. So yeah, all looks very good, all looks very clear, and onto the maps themselves, which is probably my favourite part of unboxing any new game. Is looking at the board, and these maps, sorry, they are paper. I haven't got it anywhere near folded out at the moment, but hopefully that's enough for you to see just what good quality this map is, and how nice and big the hexes are. The paper itself is pretty thick. This particular map is for Pea Ridge, I believe. So it is quite large. Yes, this particular map is for Pea Ridge. We also have an equivalent size map for Gettysburg, which is here. Gettysburg, and again it's a very nice map with lots of clear detail on them to help with the course of play, including the things like terrain key, eliminated units boxes and so on, and those same nice big hexes. The centre of the map itself has Gettysburg there and various other features. So I'm looking forward to getting this one punched out, if that's the phrase, and set up and ready to go. Might be a week or two before I get a chance to do that, but I'm so looking forward to it. I hope that this has helped you decide whether or not this would be a game of interest to you. And I'll see you next time. Thank you very much. Bye bye.